What it dookie, Jericho Green. I'm here once again to savage those ear holes to get to your mind. And unfortunately, one of the hot stories of today is the murder of that girl, Mollie Tibbetts, by that illegal alien piece of shit. I'm not going to say his name, but hopefully soon it'll be dead motherfucker. But yeah, poor girl, 20 years old, college student from Iowa. She went out for a jog. This dude was following her in his car. He stopped, started jogging alongside of her. Of course, that instantly creeped her the fuck out. She got her phone and said, "Hey, you don't leave me alone. I'm going to call the police." Now, most normal people, if you did that and someone threatened to call the police, you probably just take off. But no, this sick piece of shit murdered her and then dumped her body in a cornfield and covered it up with some corn husks and whatnot. And that was it. Went on about his day and snuffed her life out. And I know this is weird because they're only coming here for a better life, right? They just, they want to sneak across the border with their family under the dark of night to just come here and just get a little thin slice of that American pie. They just want a better life. Yeah, that might be true for some, but I'm willing to say most are criminals like this piece of shit. Really, anybody who sneaks across the border illegally, you're a criminal. It's illegally. That means what you are. But a lot of illegal aliens come here and commit crimes. That's what they were doing back home. There's no difference here. They're not seeking asylum. They're not trying to get away from poverty and violence. They are the violence. And 72% of drug convictions in America are illegal immigrants. A third of our prison population are illegal immigrants. So they're coming here for a better life. They're just dreamers is a bunch of bullshit. Some of them are, but a lot of them aren't. Now, I saw a video today. He was in the courtroom for his first appearance, and he's sitting there with headphones on, so it can be interpreted into Spanish for him. This piece of shit has been here for 7 years, yet he doesn't speak any English, which further proves my point that when people sneak into a country, they don't assimilate. They don't adopt our language and our cultures because they don't mean shit to them because they didn't work for it. So he snuck over here. He's working on some farm. He sees this poor girl, this 20-year-old college student, Mollie Tibbetts, jogging, going on about her life, starting her life. Girl's 20 years old, man. That's nothing. You're a baby. You still got Similac on your breath at 20 years old. And he snuffed her out, took her life, murdered her. And he confessed to it partially. He said the whole, what I said. She was jogging. He ran up next to her, blah, blah, blah. She's starting to call the police. Then he says, I don't remember what happened after that. I just, when I snapped out of it, she was in my trunk all bloodied up and dead. Bullshit. I hope wherever they send this fool, the inmates get in that ass like a bike with no seat. You're a monster. You're a piece of shit. And you need to be skinned alive and boiled. What we should do is take a bunch of medieval torturers, put them in a hat, let one of her family members dig around there and pull one out, and whatever they pull out, that's what we do to this piece of shit. Or let her father have 10 minutes alone in the room with him and whatever happens, happens. Unplug the cameras type of shit. Because losing a child, and if you don't have kids, to be honest, you just don't know. You just don't understand that love. And love isn't even... I wish we had a stronger word for feelings in the English language, because love does not begin to describe how you feel about your children and what you would do for them. And to have your child taken away from you, to have your child die, and even worse, be murdered, there's nothing worse. Nothing. Absolutely nothing in this world worse than losing your child. And this fucking turd visited that upon the Tibbetts family. And, we can go ahead and add her name to the list with Kate Steinle and others, tons of others who were killed by illegal immigrants. My wife, I've said this before, she got in a car accident. Thank God it was minor. But this fucking asshole gets out of his car. They pull over to the side. Now, normal people, American citizens, what we do is we exchange information, insurance information. So if it's your fault, your insurance can handle my bills or whatever. This bastard gets his kids out of the car and starts walking down the side of the road. I'm out, left his car, left my wife, didn't check on her, nothing. So she calls me, of course, upset. And she has to beg and plead with me not to leave work and come find this piece of shit and beat the chonklers off his ass. But he didn't give a fuck. Why should he give a fuck? He didn't give a fuck about being here. And you always hear that quote, the quote from the Statue of Liberty. Liberals always say, well, it says bring us your tithe and your poor. Actually, that quote that's on the Statue of Liberty, when we got the Statue of Liberty, France only gave us the statue. They didn't give us a stand to put it on. So we're like, shit, we need to raise some money to build a stand to put the statue on. So they had a poem contest, and whoever won the contest, they would print your poem on the base of the statue. That's what it is. It didn't come from our government. It didn't come from the people. It came from the person who wrote the damn poem. And sure, bring us your tired, your poor, and blah, 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 but make sure they pass through some screening first before they come into our country, and make sure they want to be here. And yeah, like I said, here for 7 years, didn't learn shit as far as English, so they got to have an interpreter for this dumbass. And another thing you hear liberals say is every time I see this on TV or something or some news show, the first thing they say is, well, the immigration system is broken. It's not broken. The people who are skirting the law are broken, not our immigration system. Our laws are fine. We just don't enforce them. Hopefully Trump will do that. Hopefully we get that wall put up and build that bitch to the moon. Now, the wall isn't going to stop this completely. It's going to take, a myriad of things to make illegal immigration. Well, we'll never stop it, but to stop it as much as we can. If you have a house, you don't just lock your doors. No, you have motion sensitive lights outside. You probably have a security system. You might have a dog. You might have a gun, all of the above. It's not just one thing, but the wall is a major part. It's a physical barrier to keep people out. And that's what we need to do. So we don't have more of these Mollie Tibbetts, more of these Kate Steinleys. Now, on CNN, and as much as it pained and burned my eyes to watch this piece of shit TV station, Elizabeth Warren, a.k.a. Pocahontas, a.k.a. that lying bitch who said she was Native American so she could get into Harvard, she was being interviewed, and the dude said, he mentioned this story. He said, of course, Mollie Tibbetts. He said, he talked about what happened. And he said, what are your thoughts? And she says, of course, I feel bad for her family and her community and all the people that are affected by this. But I've been down to the border, and I've seen kids separated from their mothers. And I've talked to those mothers. Bitch, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? We're talking about this American girl who was murdered by an illegal alien piece of shit. And please don't get me started on that bullshit about the kids at the border. Most of those kids showed up without their parents. And the reason there's still kids being held is because they have to vet and verify that these people are the kids' actual parents. Some of them are wanted for murder and human trafficking and sex crimes. We can't turn those children over to them. Why? Because Americans are good people. And we're not going to do that shit. But here she is, another politician crying about some kids that ain't even supposed to fucking be here. What's that fool's name? Elijah Cummings, is that his name? Yeah, the fool from Baltimore. And then Cory Booker. That beta male from Ken doll crotch fool. They're up there literally shedding fucking tears about some kids that ain't even supposed to be here but don't give a good goddamn. Sorry, Mom. She mentioned to me about taking the Lord's name in vain. That one slipped. Anyway, they don't give a damn about your kids, about our kids. But if you're from south of the border, boy, they'll turn on their waterworks for your ass. But anyway, y'all, this is, terrible. This is so sad for that girl. So sad for her family. She had a boyfriend. She had friends. She had fellow students. She had grandparents, aunts, uncles. I mean, it's a ripple effect through the whole family and the whole community. And that is just sad. And I'm sorry to her family. And we need to start enforcing these fucking laws. Keep these illegal pieces of shit out of our country. If you want to come here, get your ass in line. I know it's a long line. It costs a lot of money. But look what you get when you get here. You get to be in the greatest country ever created. Please, if any inmates see this video and you see that piece of garbage walking through the prison, I'm not condoning violence. I'm not saying pull an American me on him. I'm not saying toss him off of a roof or nothing like that. But just let him know how the American people feel about that. And please follow me on the Twitter at green_Jericho. Hit the PayPal /George Lindsay. Lindsay spelled Linzie. Drop a few shekels up in that for me. And like I always say, people, I can't be done with the left. They just won't let me. Jericho Green, I'm out.